Hi, my name is Steve Craigmiles. I am the owner of Sober University Clothing. Tonight's video I wanted to do a little bit different. I wanted to talk about the word appreciation and how it gets thrown around, or how it's supposed to be used, or even if there really is a way it's supposed to be used. I've heard a lot of negative stuff from people saying that, oh, this generation, this day and age, that too many people expect a pat on the back every time they do their job or do something right. And that's not the appreciation that I'm talking about. You know, I'm talking about when you're sitting at home and struggling and it's dark and your depression's got you, or suddenly a friend shows up and puts his hand on your back and says, hey man, let's talk about this. You know, and suddenly, you know, you can see yourself getting through the next day. That's appreciation. You know, you've parked your car outside a bar. You got your hand on the window and the word what if keeps coming to mind. Suddenly someone opens your car door, sits in there with you and says, you know, there's a better life out there. You know it. We can stop this now. Let's take a drive. You know, that's the appreciation that I'm talking about. Bear with me a little bit here. I've got a little bit wrote down that, you know, I was working on my book tonight and the word appreciation kept coming up, so that's kind of what stemmed this. But you know, it could be something as simple as we all have our own support groups, and just someone noticing something different about you and how you're acting, and they just walk up and say, hey man, you know, I noticed that you're struggling a little bit. Do you want to talk about it? And you go off to the side, you sit and you talk, and just that set of ears listening at what is eating at you, because we all live different lives, you know, and of course we all battle different demons. And just hearing it from someone else that, you know, hey, I know it's going to be a struggle. We'll get you through tomorrow. If you're still struggling, we'll work for the next day. That's appreciation. I mean, not all of us live perfect lives. Do you know what depression is? Do you know what social anxiety is, or anxiety? Do you know about the kid at school that constantly gets bullied, whether it be a girl or a guy? You know, depression itself. Depression is like a dark cloud of nothing consuming everything inside you, making you want to just isolate yourself from the world, and just makes you feel absolutely worthless. So how would it make you feel if a person came up to you again, even in your depression, grabbed you by the arm and said, hey man, I see you struggling. Let's talk about this. You know, it's not an overnight fix, but for that one person who struggles every day of their life, not knowing, you know, if they can fix it, someone's reaching out saying, I might have a solution. That's appreciation. You know, it's like the person with social anxiety or anxiety itself. You know, just sitting at home, scared to walk out the door, scared to face what might happen that day, thinking the worst. Suddenly a group of friends busts in with a board game, puts it out in front of you, says, you know, let's play a board game. Let's do something simple. We'll start from there. We see you struggling. We're here for you. So that's another form of appreciation. You know, the worst one to me is it's got to be the bullying, because I think of young kids hiding in bathrooms, boy or girl. They don't fit in. They can't find a way to fit in. You know, I was always the one that wanted to make sure that everybody was happy. I always tried to find a way to make everybody happy. You know, but it's that kid that's hiding in the stall, you know, even 3rd, 4th grade, kids making fun of them, and suddenly there's a knock on the stall and door opens up and a kid standing there saying, I've been through it too. Take my hand, walk with me. We can get through this together. 2 is better than 1, and then suddenly 3, suddenly 4. That's appreciation. You know, some people in this world have made it through the darkest of times. Some of them have made them appreciate a moment. God, I know I have. You know, I've been in the darkest times, and someone showed up and showed me that moment. And, you know, I'm forever grateful and appreciative. You know, these people that you're around all day, each have a battle they fight. Take a chance. Reach out. Just ask them, you know, do you want to talk about something? Is there something I can help you with? You know, they might say, no, I'm fine, and continue walking. But don't give up the first time, second time, third time. They might say, fine, you know, hey, let's go for a ride. Let's go back to the house. Let's sit down. Let's have a cup of coffee. You know, and they start talking, and you never know what you're going to hear. They might say, you know, a really good person that I know lost his daughter in a car accident. His son happened to be in the car too. Has brain damage the rest of his life. His fiance at the time got diagnosed with cancer and died right after too. But I see him work every day, in and out. He hides behind it, but it's there. And one day I just took the time to say, hey, would you like to talk? And we spent hours talking. And he just smiled. That's appreciation. That's enough for me. I'm going to stop boring you for tonight. But again, I use the word appreciation a lot, and you know, I want people to understand what I mean by it, because again, I hear that the word appreciated, or you know, pat me on the back because I did my job, gets thrown around too much. It's not the same thing. So I appreciate your time, and of course, if no one's told you today, you are appreciated. Thanks.